Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. So, I do a lot of green beauty videos here on the channel. I do discuss thrifting as well, but something I've recently gotten into doing during the whole lockdown quarantine situation is I started to resell on Depop, which is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. Wasn't really sure of the platform that I wanted to use. I do ultimately want to make moves for this to be my own website and what have you, but my little shop name is Decade Alchemy. I recently just hit 100 sales on Depop, and what I thought would be really fun about sharing this video with you is I think it would be really fun to document my road to ideally doing this full time. So I'm just going to discuss very briefly a little bit about myself and sort of the MO with the brand or my little shop, what have you, with Decade Alchemy, and then I will gonna show you a bunch of things that I thrifted. I'll kind of tell you what I look for, what makes me buy something. I do both the Goodwill outlets, so the bins, which is of course the most economical way to shop, but I do also hit thrift stores as well because I'm not just moving t-shirts and easy flip stuff like that. So, about myself, I am not a full-time reseller. I am just doing it as a bit of a side hustle. I work at a restaurant and I do about 5 shifts a week there, so like 25, 30 hours, just shy of a full-time job, so it still is part-time, and that takes up all of my Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So every other day I am doing this. I also do YouTube videos, as you all know, and then I do it as a side job for a company called Integrity Botanicals. So if you want more green beauty content from me, that is always the place to find it. Like I already said, I got into this during the whole lockdown situation, so it's been a couple months, and I've been picking up slowly but surely some momentum, and as a complete lover of clothes, what better outlet to sort of express myself with. So the whole name Decade Alchemy is because I'm super into vintage, as I've already expressed, but I think the ultimate way to modernize vintage clothes, because I'm not really into looking like a pinup from the 1940s, and I'm not into looking like Paris Hilton just walked out of like the early 2000s. I think mixing all of the decades together, hello, a little decade alchemy, if you will, is the ultimate way to modernize pieces, and I think make them the most approachable and fun as well. So I like to really get into the styling of my pieces. I do hope to share that a little bit more on the channel as well, but today I'm just going to share with you some bonkers finds. I had some really serious luck, like you saw in the thumbnail. Yes, I thrifted a piece of St. Laurent. We will get there, but I want to show you just kind of bread and butter stuff that I found at the bins for a really great price. All of this will be available on my Depop shop probably within the next month, because it's not a ton of pieces, but it is enough, and I do like 10 to 20 new listings a week on Depop. So if you see anything you like, message me. Always better pricings if you go through me on Instagram, or you can go through me in the comments, or my email address is in the description box as well. Would love to hook you guys up with some clothes, provide measurements. I can do all of that, or you can always just follow me on Depop again at Decade Alchemy. So let's get into the little haul now, shall we? I'm just gonna, you can see I got a mountain in front of me. I'm really gonna try to bang through this. All right. First up is from a brand called Eyeshadow. This is a size large. This is a little mini skirt, and those mini skirts with the wide waistbands, these are incredibly popular right now for good reason. They are incredibly flattering. So this would sit sort of on the lower part of your hips. So it is more of a mid-rise, nice stretchy material, beautiful fall colors. I believe that was $3. That was a regular Goodwill find. I found these at Salvation Army. The Salvation Army that I go to in Miami really hooks it up with the pricing. I'm going to try to share pricing with you as well, and then if any of these items have sold, or maybe I could do update videos on what has sold, that way you get a more accurate understanding for what these kind of things go for, because I kind of pricing them really sort of depends. Anyway, the Salvation Army I go to really just hooks it up with the price, and they kind of make it up on the spot. I think these had $3 on them, but I got them for less. And you would have seen this on my Instagram. I wore them. They are little Universal Studios, high-waisted, vintage, probably 90s, 80s, little shorts in great shape. awesome little tag on those guys. I think someone on Depop is really gonna dig those. This was a bins find. This sort of looks like the New York Yankees, but it just says LA. It's a good wearable vintage piece. You cannot really go wrong. It's just a solid tee, and that was an outlet find, so very, very cheap. And by the way, Loveless Vintage, if you're watching, hope that you are. I think I'm gonna be coming for your neck with the folding game. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. We'll have to have a fold off. Anyway, next up, speaking of Loveless Vintage, I know he loves his Ed Hardy. Check him out, by the way. I love his YouTube videos. I found this Ed Hardy polo. Ed Hardy, look at this. I'm like mixing up Ed Hardy and Harley Davidson here. But really cool. The polos are incredibly popular. I love that the Ed Hardy hits under the collar because the style of this is probably to pop the collar off. Collar up, but we got this really cool backend as well. It's a little guy, but polos are very popular right now, so when I saw it in the bins, I was like, yeah, we can make that happen. Little Nike find. This is one of the gray tags, so just like early 2000s, nothing overly special, but it's a Nike thermal. This is a size XL, also from the bins. It's in good shape. It's cool. I could see this looking good on a guy or girl for a more oversized fit. Just good quality and cool little hit on that guy. I also picked up the Flash tee. This is on a junk food blank, and I have sold a Crush Soda junk food t-shirt for like 20 bucks. So when you can find these in the bins and your total doesn't even end up being 20 bucks and you can flip one shirt for that, that's awesome. It's the Flash. It's this really good color. I didn't see any comps on this color specifically, but you know, I think I'd probably get 20 bucks for that tee. Another bins find, really, really cute little cropped rainbow sweater situation. Not an old piece, but very, very on trend with that whole sweater vest thing. So I like to dabble in trends lightly, but as we all know, fashion is cyclical, so a lot of these trends come from these earlier decades, so I really like to keep my eyes out for the real deal while corresponding with stuff that's popular right now. This was one of my favorite finds. This is a 90s or 80s Adele, if that looks 80s actually, Adele knitwear, but look at this. It's not the most unif thing you've ever seen. It's this black and white little graphic daisy print crop sweater, but not too cropped. Perfect time of year to rock this guy. I found that in the bins as well. That was a cutie. Then I found this denim jumpsuit. I gotta research this one. This one does not have a tag. It just has this S, which sometimes 70s things just have those tags, or it could be new. It's got a good look to it. I don't know if it's 70s because the legs taper quite a bit, but not too thin. It still has a really good look to it. It's just a denim jumpsuit, short sleeve up top. It's got the belt loops and the more tapered legs. Like I already said, I just think that's a good piece that looks like a retro vibe. It's got the snap closures as well, metal zipper, so it is of a more nice quality. Those are all things that I look for, and when I talk about more vintage pieces, I will explain how I know it's vintage, because I know that could be a little bit tricky. This one was such a shame. It's beat, it's chopped, which always depreciates the value, but I still thought someone might dig to layer this up. It is a cool Bob Marley tee. It just says legend on it. What date do we have down here? 2005, Hope Road Music, licensed. It is made in the USA, Zion, roots wear, it says on the back, and it was, you know, cut into a muscle tee and a crop, but maybe someone will dig that. It was a bins find, so even if I can get a couple bucks for it, I'm down for it. That is a size large. Now this brand, I don't know either. It's Kuya, and I did do a little bit of research. It looks like they're trying to do Kuji on the tag, so I did get a little excited at first, but it does have a really cool print. I gotta look it up. What attracted me to it is, of course, that really sick tie-dye. Everyone digs that. It's kind of in the Rasta colors, so that makes me think that might be an affiliation of the brand, especially because the tag is in that matching colorway. It's a size L. It is just worn to perfection. That is what I like to see, and I just thought it was a cool little piece. Another bins find. This is a cool one. This is a rayon. This one's on the hanger because I gave it a little wash and I hung it up to dry because little tip, rayon will shrink into nothing, and it also gets really wrinkly, so laying it this way so it can dry the neatest is great. But it is this 100% rayon, so very, very comfortable, made in India. The brand is called Gooch. Can we talk about that? That's so funny. Look at that tag. She's a beauty. It's houndstooth. It is in great shape. It's a size small. It does appear to be a little bit more of an oversized fit, and again, a really cool unisex piece. The buttons look kind of small. I don't know if it's designed to be for men or women, but I also don't really give a damn. It's just sick. Houndstooth, very popular right now, and a good layering piece as well. I'm going to share a couple more pieces. We are inching our way towards the Saint Laurent. Don't worry, I know you guys want to see it. I want to share it with you. I really do, but I got a few more finds. I've got some accessories I want to share with you as well. Oh, but basically, I don't even think I finished my thought. I think it would be really cool to kind of share my path to becoming a full-time reseller, because that is the goal. It is not the way at the moment, but it is a really nice little side hustle, and I think one that is easy for everyone to pursue. There is so many clothes out there that need new homes, and then Depop is such an amazing way to rehome them, or any third-party platform of your choosing. Depop is just the poison that I have chosen. Again, a more modern find, but it's by Avila. Avila, very popular. I think I paid $3 for this as well. It's a Avila Sport little tennis skirt. It's navy and it's white. Very, very cute. It does have a little spot here on the bottom, so that is gonna, you know, I'm gonna take a couple bucks off for that, but it's right where the pleat is, so it actually isn't terribly noticeable, so that is a cute little find. A piece that is a keeper, but I just want to share the power of the things that you can find at the thrift store. This is a 1980s cachet belt. Fits like a glove, made in Spain. Gaudy mother effing goodness. I mean, can we just... I'm speechless. This is the belt of my dreams, and it's taken me this long to thrift it. So patience is in fact a virtue. Another thing that's popular, and to kind of keep your eyes peeled for this season, is patchwork pants. And these aren't horribly old either. These are from New York & Company, but I imagine these to be probably early 2000s or something like that, because they are a mid-rise flare leg with patches on them. These are a size 0, but they have a really nice stretch to them. I would say like a 0 to 2. Very, very comfortable. If low rise was a fit for me, I hate it on me so much. I would really, really dig these. Make the legs look a million feet long. These were really cool, and that was another bins find, and all the bins finds that I'm telling you guys was all from one trip, and I ended up paying 16 bucks for the lot of it. This was one that I thrifted from the Goodwill that I found the Saint Laurent piece at, so we are getting there. But this is just a beautiful silk Kelly green vintage 80s blazer. So I like this because it does have the shoulder pads, so we have a little bit of structure, but it's overall a little bit looser, a good layering piece if you want to put a nice coat over it as well and still get the great pop of color. It is 100% silk, which I love as well, but it's a nice, thicker, heavyweight silk. It's not completely weightless, and doesn't appear to get like psychotically wrinkly like silk sometimes can. Another find, this was from a Goodwill. It's from a different Goodwill. This was not the Saint Laurent Goodwill. I just thought this was really cute for the season. It's not my style specifically, but I think it's really cool, and it is a true vintage 1980s piece. So things that I look for, ways to identify, is there's a texture to old tags that you will come to learn, but ultimately what we are looking for is where it's made. This is actually assembled in El Salvador, but sometimes it's assembled elsewhere out of US components, but here the brand is Glances, Los Angeles, New York. You can sort of tell from fonts and things like that as well, or just the style. But I thought this was a really sweet, dark toned, sort of digitized floral print. I really like the colors, but what got me is there are pearl buttons all the way down. It is so stinking cute, and I think adds a really nice touch. This is a size small. It's 100% rayon, very, very comfortable, and it does have an elastic waist, so I can imagine that working for maybe up to a medium, but I will provide measurements when I list it or if you express interest, of course. I found these are actually Brandy Melville. I didn't realize that because the tag has been ripped out, but the zipper says J. Galt on it, and they are owned by John Galt, I believe. So really cool high-waisted plaid pants. These are keepers for now. I don't know if I love them on me. I did post a story on Instagram of me in these bad boys. They don't have any belt loops. I wished that they did because I like to sort of cinch in the waist and just make it look a little bit more flattering. But regardless, they are perfect for the season. And if I decide that I do not like these on me, they will end up on Depop. Absolutely. All right, so I don't want to save the Saint Laurent for last. I kind of want to force you to watch this video. So I'm going to share the Saint Laurent with you right now. Now let me just set the scene for you. I am in Goodwill. It's late. It wasn't a Goodwill that I frequent. Thrift shops around me have been closing a little bit earlier than I'm used to, so that's totally fine, no worries. I just had to wrap up at one thrift store a lot sooner than I expected, and like half a mile up the road on my way home was this Goodwill. So I'm like, hello, have to stop. Sometimes I feel a pull to go there, and this is one of those times. So I like to look at the smalls, knickknacks, collectibles. I like to flip that stuff on eBay as well. I do hope to do videos on that shortly, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'm looking through the smalls, I'm looking through the smalls. There was this rack that wasn't freshly rolled out. It's been there for Lord knows how long, and I just saw his sleeve kind of sticking out. I was like, well, that is a amazing pattern. I was like, that's definitely 80s. It has that sort of jewel-like shape to it. So these colors are very 80s. This pattern's very 80s. I don't know how to explain it. You just sort of get more familiar. And when I went to grab it, I'm like, holy shit. It's Saint Laurent. And there is the tag right there, made in France. They, of course, did a Sharpie. Paid $7 for this. That's what you're seeing on there, which that's a bummer, but I don't think totally takes away from this. This looks to be mint. I'm like blown away. We've got shoulder pads in here. We've got the sleeve cuffing detail. We have the black piping along this and the pockets. Two nice big breast pockets. Pattern continues all the way through on the side, and there is some more of that black paneling. This is bonkers. And when I was looking up, I mean, like my heart skipped a beat. I could not believe that I found this. This is not something you find every time, but I have two more designer pieces to share here with you that I got at two different thrift stores, and one of which is from the bins. It's just go consistently. You develop an eye for quality, and the only way that you could do so is going, touching, looking, seeing, and hopefully striking gold, and if not, striking something that you love, because even if this wasn't Saint Laurent, it is amazing. But from what I've seen as far as comps, this is the coolest one on the market, so I might be able to get a couple $100 for this bad boy. So I'm really excited about that 80s Saint Laurent find. It's incredible. That is the same Goodwill that I found that really cool blazer at. There's a couple other knit pieces that I've left out of this haul that I purchased as well. I couldn't share everything. I mostly wanted to share the bins finds with you all here today. But anyway, really pumped on that find. So I have a couple more finds to share with you. I know, whew, I'm like reliving that high. I found this really cool vintage made in the USA, the limited. It says Limited America. I've never seen that tag before. I hope to share with you tags, maybe get acquainted with things, but it's just a really well-made, cute, nice pointy collar. I always look for that as well. It's got two really sweet pockets. This is another bins find. The sweater vests are very popular right now as well, so another thing to keep your eyes out for if you are reselling. Really exciting find, and I just saw this in the bin like this. You touch it and you become familiar also with high quality fabrics, and so I was like, oh my god, I pull this out. This is by Moschino. This is a Moschino cheap and chic dress. Unfortunately, it's not really the season, but I still will try to sell this piece. It's not the most magical Moschino piece I've ever seen, but it is really lovely, in nice shape. It doesn't have any staining, rips, anything like that, and it was just lying at the bottom of a bin. Not even a fresh one, waiting for me. So it has these little scrap fabric rosettes all over it, also in varying gingham fabric. It's a really nice pink color, and this is a US size 6, Italian 40, French 36, you know, all those different sizes. So Moschino Cheap and Chic. I believe this is their more eco-friendly line, if I'm not wrong. I do need to do a little bit more research and kind of see what this stuff is going for. I have one more Moschino Cheap and Chic piece that I did purchase for myself. That's actually on my Depop as well, so you can check that out. Quick little accessories haul, just some fun pieces I thought you guys might like to see or be interested in. I found this ridiculously cute, tiny little baby Tommy Hilfiger little duffel bag, and this is again a very early 2000s. This could easily go grossly tacky, but there's something so cool and funky about this as well with its duffel bag shape, but while it being very mini. But it is big enough to hold just sort of everything you need. I have a plastic bag in there right now just to give it a little bit more shape, but this was a bins find. I couldn't leave it behind. It's too stinking cute. This bag is dope. I'm wondering if this is actually old. I believe it is, just because the style of it, or if it's one of those like re-release, like I know MTV's done collaborations with different brand scents. This is made in El Salvador, so I think it is, because it's by a brand called Yak Pack. And I paid $3 for this. It is a just nylon bag. I thought the color was great. That's what attracted me to it. It's got these cool cords on it, so it has that early 2000s, like late 90s look to it as well. And then when I opened it up, I was like, get out MTV Life Music Liberty. I was like, that's sick. The inside's really cool. It's in amazing, amazing condition, and kind of that, it's a shoulder bag, but with that messenger style, so I think it would be really cool. It's kind of unif, that sort of vibe, if you know what I mean. I have 3 more pieces to share with you, super fast. This I'm going to be photographing today, actually. I got this in one of those bags you can get at the thrift store for a really cheap price that have all sorts of goodies in it. This is a Ralph Lauren polo headband. Headbands are very cute right now. This is a really sweet one. Again, give you that little bit of a Y2K vibe, but wouldn't it look so cool with the more modern outfit? I did get this 80s hat. I mean, I had to. Look at this thing. She's in great shape. She's really cool. It's kind of got cowgirl energy. It's just kind of out there. It's a little wacky. It's a little weird. I like a good hat. If I see them, this was, I don't know, $2 maybe. I had to snag her. And finally, another designer piece I found. This is a Betsey Johnson piece. And what I love about this is that it is a Betsey Johnson does 1930s piece. So she's very inspired by the 30s and the 40s. This looks exactly like a 1930s jacket. What I love about finding pieces like this, so it's sort of a bolero style, you could tie it up in the front. It's gorgeous. It's black velvet, in beautiful condition, made in India. What's cool about finding these designer pieces inspired by other eras, and I will leave a few era, there's this great woman who she teaches fashion history actually, and her courses are available online for free just to listen to her lectures. So I'm gonna include that down below. She's awesome. But you not only appeal to the people who are looking for this designer, but you appeal to people looking for vintage pieces as well, because obviously finding something from the 30s in this good of condition is significantly harder than finding the inspiration and getting the look with a more modern piece. So that was a sick find. I was super pumped about that. Woo! All right, everyone, that is it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making it. I could see myself doing these damn things all the time. In the future, I want to take you with me. The bins is not the most conducive place to filming because it's very, when the new bins come out, you gotta be on it. I will talk a little bit more about it if you haven't seen any other reseller videos, but again, I hope to share my road to becoming a full-time reseller with you. If any of these pieces have sold by the time that this video goes live, I will put and I got the Betsey Johnson, by the way, for $3.99. $3.99. So I hope I did a good job discussing prices and everything like that outside of the bins, because that's by weight. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know what videos you would like to see if you're getting into reselling too, or if you just find this fascinating. I know before I started reselling, I really enjoyed watching these videos regardless, but I love fashion history, I love clothes, I love reselling so very much. Please check me out on Decade Alchemy. Don't forget to reach out to me personally if any of these pieces are speaking to you. Would be more than happy to send over photos, measurements, anything I could do. I would love for you all to be wearing some Decade Alchemy. Wouldn't that be awesome? So there's this girl, last thought, Lucent Vintage, who her bio is, I do the mining, you get the gem, and that is exactly it. I want you all to have these gems. And I will be sharing some personal finds. There were a handful here. I've had some sick luck with personal finds that I will share with you as well. But I thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for coming along on this journey with me. I cannot wait to experience it all together. Woo, I'm turning away. But give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe for more. I'm gonna be uploading a new video here every single week, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.